Hey everybody, if you have an XR18 and you use it for audio output with your Mac, and you've been wondering how to get around that channel 1 and channel 2 audio restriction, I'm going to show you how to do that right now. Let's go! So I want to start the video by saying this. It doesn't matter how much equipment you touch or how much software you use or how much you actually work in the industry. It's virtually impossible to know everything. I think I know a fair bit, especially when it comes to audio, but there's always something that you don't know. And that's why I think the internet and channels like this are great, because it allows us to share what we do know with those who don't. And so to that end, this video is specifically about something that I was not aware of, something I'd been searching for a while, but I just didn't find on my own. And then today I got a comment on one of my videos that solved the problem for me. And the comment was from this person. So a huge thanks to them for sharing their knowledge and helping me grow mine. And so with that, let's jump right into what this video is about. If you have been using your XR18 with your Mac, you've probably noticed, and maybe you've struggled with the fact that when you output your computer audio through the mixer, you are confined to USB channels 1 and 2. So it usually looks something like this. You'll come into your interface and you'll set up a couple of channels. It doesn't matter which channel strip you use. You can tell them to look at any channels you want, but we use 1, 2 for this demonstration. So I would come into 1 and I would stereo link it. So now 1 and 2 are linked. And then I would switch it from analog to digital interface to USB. And that means that channel 1 would be looking at USB return 1 from the computer, and channel strip 2 would be looking at USB return 2 from the computer. So when we play anything on our Mac, this is where it shows up. So for instance, I'll play this YouTube video. We can see signal here, and I would then of course bring up my left right, which is over here. I can't see it right now. There it is. Bring up my left right master fader, and then I would bring these up and we would hear it in the speakers. In input 1, I can. And when you look at things just sort of generally, and even if you do kind of a deep dive, you might miss this. There's really no way to change this to any of the other USB channels available, because we should have 18. There's 18 going from the mixer to the computer. There's 18 coming from the computer back to the mixer on our USB cable. But at first glance, it seems like there's no real way to change that. Even if you look in Audio MIDI, which you can find here, Audio MIDI setup, and you choose the device, and yeah, we can see everything here. We can see our input and our output, and all the channels are listed, and we can change volumes if we need to sometimes, but it doesn't actually give us a way to change the 2 primary outputs. Well, the one thing I never bothered to check, because in my mind it meant something other than this, was the Configure Speakers button right here. If you go into Configure Speakers, you can now change the 2 primary channels that are used to output your Mac audio to the mixer on USB. So instead of constraining it to 1 and 2, you can choose any channels you want, which is perfect, because just for my mind and my organizational way of thinking, I like to put my computer audio at the end of the chain. So instead of it being 1 and 2, I prefer it to be 17 and 18. So now I can do that. 17 for left, 18 for right. Click apply, click done. And now if we look back at our mixer, we can see this YouTube audio has disappeared from 1 and 2. So now I could change this to USB 17 and 18, and I would have my audio back. But again, just for my organizational sense, I like to put it at the end. So here on our aux input tab, we can change this to 17 and 18. Right now it's set to analog to digital, but if I click on USB, now we have a single fader with a stereo input of 17, 18, and anything I play out of my Mac is going to show up right here. Set things up there, so let's hide this one. Amazing. So it just goes to show you, it doesn't matter how much you know or how much you think you know and how much you have handled gear or software in your life, sometimes you just miss something simple. And it's great that we can share information with one another and learn from the things that we don't know and others do. So again, super thanks to this user, and thanks everybody for watching. I hope this was interesting, entertaining, educational. I really hope it was educational for you like it was for me. If it was any of those things, please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing. And until next time, thanks for watching. We'll see you here again on QuickEZ. Bye, everybody.